Welcome to today's discussion on innovating in the time of COVID-19, a story of collaboration. Hello, I'm your host, Peggy Smedley, President of Specialty Publishing Media, Editorial Director of Connected World, and the host of the Peggy Smedley Show. My focus today is all about educating the industry on PLM, IoT, AI, and sustainability. So today we have three wonderful guests joining us. First is Kevin Wren, EVP of Products at PTC, Philippe Bouchard, CEO of Ultima Group, and then also Eddie Van Stroot, who's the Vice President of Line of Automotive at VCST, which is a part of BMT Group. Eddie, why don't you first start by introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Eddie. I'm the Vice President of Automotive VCST at BMT, and I'm very excited to share today with you my experience or our experience in this wonderful journey in digitalization of our company.
My name is Philippe Bouchard. I'm CEO of the Ultima Group, and we are an international PTC and Microsoft reseller.
I'm Kevin Wren. I'm the EVP of Products at PTC, which means I'm in charge of our PLM, CAD, and IoT businesses.
So I want you all to enjoy this discussion. And let's get to the very first question. First, I'm going to throw this question out to VCST. Eddie, what I'd love for you to do is talk about what was the point that you decided to take this position to start the Smart Factory initiative. It's kind of interesting that you kind of decided to get out there. And what problems were you trying to solve?
It's a very good question. When I started in this position in 2017, when I looked to the business in automotive, we had a lot of different challenges. We are known within the industry as, let's say, from our superior quality, also our delivery reliability. We have a strong innovative power. We are global present. We have a lot of, but there are also some things which we have to adapt. Shorten time to lead, shorten time to market. It's one of our challenges we are struggling with. Increasing flexibility. Our efficiency has to be boosted. And in this particular way, that means when out of this SWOT analysis, I came to the conclusion that we had to change. And the question is, how do you change? And with which kind of tools you change? Because you can ask your company to do their utmost, but we need to improve also our systems. And it came to my mind very, very soon that we had to change as well the organization, as well our way of thinking into, let's say, a more end-to-end focus from customer over VCST towards suppliers to improve, let's say, our total improvement, our efficiency, our reliability, our quality, our support to our customers, but of course important because we have to generate money for our shareholder. And that's very important. And these were the challenges which were on my table at that moment.
What was the impact of COVID-19? Did you think to stop then with everything going on and everybody having to stay at home? And what was the reaction to the Smart Factory project? It seems so exciting right now.
Good question. In this time, coronavirus did shake our business tremendously. Automotive industry is hit very well, but there was at one end a team working very efficient with a strong drive to support a change and to drive a change in the organization. And we didn't want to stop that drive. Also supported by the shareholder, by BMT, we decided don't change your long-term strategy because you only can make a step forward versus the competition, because that's what we need to do. And that's what we also decided still to do for our long-term sustainability.
Was the process for making these decisions, were all the results that you wanted, were they achieved? And are you anticipating some new things right now? I guess when I look at this, I was like, how did you kind of select the technology, the vendors? I just think there had to be a lot with all the pressure with COVID. How did you put all these things together?
Yeah, we started in 2017 already. So at that moment, we started very, let's say, in silos. And just what I see in also a lot of different companies, what I've been visiting, they are thinking very silo-wide. And we did, in the beginning, we made the same mistake. And then we said, no, we have to think out of the box. We have to think in the end-to-end scenario. And in this way, we didn't have, let's say, the competence internally into the plant, into our company available. And I was looking around, who could support me in this? And then I went to, let's say, consultancy companies. And then we came also by the people from PTC and at Ultima to support us also, because PTC was known already within the BMT group. And that was a very, very, very strong asset, yeah, and also a very strong signal from the beginning that we had already the relation which was already there. We could build on that relation, and that was the reason why we established a thorough plan as partners, and not, let's say, as a customer supplier, but no, as partners. And in this way, we also defined during this time period of COVID to go along, to go ahead, although the money is scarce, yeah, is rare, and we have to spend our money there where it's needed. But as I also told in the beginning, we need to spend our money towards long-term future goals to reach them.
Are you seeing the results that you've anticipated? Are they happening right now?
I see a lot of things happening. When you ask me really numbers right now, this is too soon, because we are in a program to deliver the first, let's say, environment, which is a digitized environment in an area which will be finalized during the end of June, beginning of July. So at that moment, we will have our, what we call our go live, our showcase, that we can show to our shareholders, our customers, our suppliers, our people, because also they are very important. They have to support the whole change, that we can show at that moment where we are. But I see a lot of changes already, and I see a lot of new things coming in systems. And what I've learned during this COVID period, and I want to mention this also as well, of course, augmented reality. We didn't know what it was. Now we know what it is and what it can bring us and what it can help us, because we are a very centralized, organized company, where our engineering competence center, it's still centralized within Belgium, in Europe, and we have different facilities worldwide. And we see right now that the local people, they are suffering because we can't send people over there. And with some tools which we created and we are creating still, with, let's say, augmented reality, we can support people locally from a global perspective to show them how to do things, how to solve things. And this is one of the lessons learned also during this COVID period, that we have to invest even more in augmented reality tools.
So do you look at this as, what is your next steps then? If you've augmented reality now, what's your next steps?
Our next steps, it's that we integrate, let's say, the whole, through, let's say, the PLM, the product lifecycle management, the data master, the CAD, and the CAD information, that we link them to the PLM, that we go through, let's say, the visualization in what we call PTC ThingWorks, and that, of course, augmented reality, that the whole picture will be, let's say, not standalone things, but it will be a completely integrated solution for our future.
Have you seen that it's been an entire ecosystem that you look at? You're really important for customers, what it's benefited them? How have you seen the benefits for all of your customers, your partners, and everyone?
When I started in the beginning in 2017, I also listened to my customers, what they really need. And for example, when I talk with customers as well in US, as well in Europe, they ask, of course, to have, let's say, a full reliable supplier, not only a very cheap supplier, but a very fully reliable supplier with a full transparency into the whole quality data of the parts of the goods they get. And when they talk about zero defect mentality, or they talk about zero PPM, it's all about the same, but it's about the approach. It's the mentality to drive your process to zero defects. And this is the biggest advantage, to my opinion, what we can give to our customers. Not only competitive advantage, but also, let's say, a full reliability, a full transparency on quality data, on data records, not only on the supply chain, but also on the quality side. And the biggest portion for automotive, because we are delivering driveline applications, gears and shafts, or geared shafts, NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, is very important in driveline applications. And of course, we do want cars, which, because we are customers, we do want cars which we don't hear anymore. So that means we are making metal parts, and normally when gears are in contact with one another, they make noise. And our niche is to make gears without noise. But it's very important also to get then the feedback from our customers, because they do some end-of-line testing. And it's important that we get from our customers the full data of all the parts, not only the let's say, the parts which might be suspected. No, I want to have the full data from my customers, that I can pull them back in my systems, in my data, make the analysis. And maybe when you do let's say, the big data analysis, this is my really belief, that when you do the big data on your data, on our data, and the data of our customers, and when we connect these data with one another, then we can improve our processes even more beyond what we are doing today, and even beyond the expectations of the customers. And that's really important for all the customers which are currently customers of VCST, and certainly, of course, new customers, which when they see what we are doing, all my customers right now, they are very excited what we are doing, and they want to be part of the game. Not only that PTC and VCST, that we are partners, but that we are together, customer and VCST and PTC, that we are together partners.
Philippe, I'd love for you to talk about the ecosystem, and how do you see supporting VCST and their customers?
Well, for us, of course, it's very exciting to work together with VCST, because it's one of the customers at which we can work together at a strategic level. Because we want, as Ultima, try to help them by thinking end-to-end, and to realize their digital transformation. And becoming digital is a real challenge today, because you have to do it end-to-end. You cannot do it only for a part of your business. And of course, we like to work together in order to help how they can differentiate themselves in the market. And we look at how we can use PTC technology in order to build the IT architecture of the future for VCST.
When you look at partnerships right now, this has really been important, correct? You find that there's more things, especially in the time of COVID?
Yes, of course, because this are challenges projects in which you need support of different kind of partners. In this case, we work also together with Blue Crooks, which is a partner specialized in change management, because of course this is also a very part of the total process to be run. And of course, we also were very glad to use the knowledge of PTC as a sound board for our consultants in this project.
So Kevin, when you look at this whole thing, how does an ecosystem for manufacturers, customers, partners, all the challenges in remote work, when we look at everything, how is PTC really helping right now in everything that has to happen?
Well, I think first it's openness, so we're kind of open on multiple dimensions. Our technology is open, that enables people to kind of do digital transformation, as Eddie was talking about, connections all the way from engineering, all the way to the factory floor, and even out to their customers. So our technology is open, but we're also open from a partnership standpoint. And so Ultima is a really important partner of PTC's, and likewise of VCST. And so we're used to working in these environments, both from a technology standpoint and from a partnership standpoint.
Is there anything that you think that in this time, when we look at the big thing that everybody's challenged with COVID-19, PTC is always there to help all of its customers. How important is that in an ecosystem for everybody to realize that this is a time to reach out and help? And that's what PTC is doing.
Yeah, I think it was well said by you. You know, our first reaction was to not so much focus on ourselves and have ourselves kind of being able to work from home, let's say, but to reach out to our customers and our partners to make sure that they could. And just because, you know, our technology is actually made pretty well to work from home and not actually have to be on site to be able to operate the technology, it helped a lot. But we did have some special circumstances with some customers whereby, you know, we had to come up with special licensing arrangements for them to have their engineers work from home per se. But yeah, for us, it was much more important for us to figure out how our customers could create business continuity, and at the same time, we were doing it for ourselves.
Well, I think this is really exciting to hear what's happening in a time of COVID when everybody's a little nervous. I think it's great. But before we go, I'd love for all of you to give us one point that really says that's important for everybody to have, for you to share, for everything that you are talking about, so others can learn from each of you. Eddie, why don't you start us off and tell us something that you feel is the most important for all of this?
When I started this exercise or this journey, because it's a journey, then the most important thing is you need to create a very strong sense of urgency from the very first start. And you have to keep on communicating this throughout the whole organization. This is that it is a future-based strategy. Of course, and also a second thing what I want to share, instead of focusing on the change, focus on the alternative of doing nothing, because doing nothing, that means that you will lose the game, and there will be hopes and fears all over that throughout that whole journey. But also don't be afraid to also express to the people about these hopes and these fears, because fears there will be struggles, but also something what I want to end with is there is no limit. The sky is the limit. The technology is not a limit anymore. I used to be 10, 15 years ago, there was a problem that data storage was a huge problem at that moment. That is not the problem anymore. So the sky is the limit. The technology is not a limit anymore.
Well, I think that the most important thing is the power of the network, working together with different partners where there is a lot of trust and where all the stakeholders are aligned. This is something which has created, in my opinion, very good results.
To add to what Eddie and Philip said, you know, I do think the new normal after COVID-19 is going to really make people think much, much harder and much more aggressively about the kind of projects that VCST is doing, because digitalization is going to be a requirement of the new normal.
Thank you for joining our discussion in Innovating in a Time of COVID-19, a story of collaboration. To learn more about VCST's Smart Factory Initiative, please check out our website at ptc.com.